There's a moment when power shifts, and it never starts with noise. It starts with restraint. When you stop reacting the way people expect, something in them cracks. A calm silence, a delayed answer, a steady tone delivered without apology. This tiny change hits harder than aggression because it breaks their sense of control. Powerful people hate losing control. That break forces them to study you, question you, and rethink every move you make. This is the Machiavellian trick that makes strong individuals chase. You disturb their mental pattern, then let their own mind do the rest. Real influence isn't loud. It's subtle, calculated, almost invisible. It lives in the gap between what they expect and what you allow. When you pull back just slightly, not disappearing, not chasing, simply holding your ground, you create tension. Tension is addictive to ambitious minds. They're used to predictable reactions, quick validation, easy compliance. When you don't give them that, curiosity activates. Curiosity turns into focus. Focus becomes pursuit. Your power is the calm neutrality you maintain. Not coldness, not arrogance. Just a quiet stability that shows you're not impressed and not intimidated. That stability is rare, and rare things demand attention. They begin adjusting to you without even noticing. Their tone softens, their replies become faster, their questions more direct. They start watching your timing, your pauses, your expression, trying to understand you. The more they try to decode you, the more they fall into your frame. This technique works because it removes emotional predictability. You don't rush to fill silence. You don't explain yourself. You don't react instantly. You allow space. And that space becomes pressure, subtle pressure, that makes them invest more energy into you. They don't chase because you impressed them. They chase because their ego can't tolerate not understanding you. And once their ego is involved, the game shifts entirely in your favor. Watch the signs. Their messages get shorter but more frequent. Their eyes linger longer. Their voice lowers when they speak to you. Micro signals of someone losing the upper hand. This is the beginning of the chase. Quiet, controlled, and unmistakable. The moment when your silence says more than their words. Powerful people never chase without a trigger. They need a reason, a disturbance, a shift that forces their instincts to recalculate. And the moment you stop giving them the reactions they're used to, their mind starts working overtime. They replay conversations, analyze your pauses, try to decode the calmness in your tone. They wonder why you don't bend the way others do. That uncertainty becomes a hook, subtle but lethal. The real strategy isn't to act distant. Anyone can do that. The strategy is to be selectively engaged. You give just enough attention to show you're present, but never enough to make them feel secure. One precise look, one controlled smile, one perfectly timed silence can imbalance someone who's used to dominance. They feel a pull they can't explain, and that confusion turns into pursuit. Your greatest advantage is that you don't fight for their approval. You let them experience the discomfort of not being fully sure of you. High-value minds hate uncertainty, but they're also obsessed with solving it. So they lean closer. They watch your body language, searching for clues. They ask questions they normally wouldn't. They try to catch your emotional rhythm, but you keep it steady, unmoved, calculated, quietly confident. Every time you respond calmly to something that would provoke others, you elevate your position. It shows you're not operating from fear or desire. You're operating from choice. That difference alters how they see you. They start respecting you without realizing it. They adjust their tone, they drop their guard. The dynamic flips one subtle moment at a time. And here's the Machiavellian twist. When you offer them a small piece of warmth, just one, their mind latches onto it like it's rare gold. A short compliment, a brief moment of softness, a slower reply dripping with intention. That contrast between your restraint and your precision becomes intoxicating. They chase not because you push them away, but because you make every moment with you feel intentional. What you're building is psychological gravity. They notice when you enter a room. They sense when your attention shifts. They feel when your tone drops even slightly. These small changes hit them harder than dramatic gestures ever could. And the more they feel, the more they invest. The more they invest, the more they chase. This is how quiet dominance works. No force, no chaos, just controlled presence that bends their focus toward you. The real power begins when they start adjusting themselves around you without noticing it. A powerful person is used to shaping the environment, bending people, controlling the pace. But when your presence disrupts their internal rhythm, they start mirroring you instead. They match your tone. They slow their speech to your tempo. They choose their words more carefully. This shift is subtle, but once it starts, the dynamic is already yours. What makes your influence so irresistible is that you're not competing. You're observing. You're reading micro-reactions they don't even know they reveal. A slight inhale before they answer. A pause before they look away. A softer tone when they speak your name. Every detail tells you exactly where their mind is drifting, and that awareness lets you shape the energy without ever raising your voice. You don't need to impress them. You let them impress themselves in front of you. They talk more. They share more. They reveal pieces of their ambition and fear because something in your silence feels safe yet challenging. They want your validation, even if they pretend otherwise. That desire sneaks up on them slowly, like a shadow growing behind their pride. The secret is that you never rush. Machiavellian influence thrives in patience. You let tension build naturally. You let them feel the contrast between your calm and their intensity. And every time they try to predict you and fail, they become more curious, more invested, more drawn to whatever you're hiding behind your controlled expression. Your confidence isn't loud, it's steady. It's the kind that forces people to rethink their approach. You don't interrupt. You don't overshare. You speak only when your words carry weight. This controlled precision makes every sentence feel deliberate, almost surgical. They feel the impact of your silence just as much as your voice, and that balance is what creates psychological pull. Soon they start checking for your reactions before making decisions. They wonder how you'd interpret their moves. They imagine what you'd say, even when you're not there. That's when influence becomes internalized, when your presence occupies their mind long after the conversation ends. Once that happens, they pursue you not out of desire, but out of need. They need clarity. They need your perspective. They need your approval, even if they try to hide it behind a polished mask of control. And without forcing anything, without chasing, without demanding recognition, you become the center of their attention. Their power bends toward you, slowly, almost imperceptibly. This is the moment when the chase begins, not because you asked for it, but because their mind can no longer ignore you. What makes powerful people chase is not dominance, it's disturbance. You become the variable they can't calculate, the one person who doesn't respond to their usual strategies. They're used to admiration, obedience, resistance, even fear. But they're not used to someone who looks straight through their performance and sees the machinery behind it. That unnerves them, that pulls them closer. When you stay composed in situations where others fold, they feel it deeply. They notice the steadiness in your voice. They notice you're not shaken by their status or authority, and that realization plants a seed they can't remove. Why does this person not react like the rest? What do they know? What do they see? Curiosity turns into fixation faster than they expect. Your strength is in how little you reveal. You don't give them the emotional cues they depend on to maintain control. They expect you to be impressed, intimidated, or eager. Instead, you remain selective, measured, as if you're evaluating them just as much as they evaluate you. That shift in perception is enough to tip the balance of power. You never brag. You never explain your value. You let them discover it through your behavior, the way you stay grounded, the way you listen without trying to dominate, the way you keep your ambition in your eyes but not in your words. These microscopic signals create a psychological contrast that more powerful minds crave because it reflects what they lack: internal certainty. They begin seeking your approval in tiny ways, a longer glance after saying something important, a subtle pause to see if you react, a slight change in posture when you enter the room. These are cracks in their armor, signals that your presence is influencing their state. And once their behavior starts shifting around you, the pursuit is already underway. The mistake most people make is giving attention too quickly, trying to prove their worth. You do the opposite. You let your silence work. You let them wonder. You give short, precise responses that force them to lean in for more. Machiavellian influence is not about filling space. It's about creating space that makes others chase what's missing. And because you're not emotionally scattered, they start feeling something unfamiliar. Pressure. Not aggressive pressure, but psychological weight. The weight of someone who sees patterns, reads intentions, and cannot be manipulated. That pressure becomes fascination. Fascination becomes desire. Desire becomes pursuit. The moment they realize they can't predict you, they begin investing more energy than they planned. They start offering more information, more attention, more presence. They chase because losing your interest feels like losing something rare, something they can't replace, and in their world, rarity is worth more than power itself. What truly pulls powerful people toward you is the way you handle tension. Most people try to escape it, smooth it out, avoid the silent moments that feel heavy. But you hold the silence. You let it stretch. You let the weight settle in the air until they're the ones who break first. That alone separates you from everyone they're used to. Powerful individuals spend their lives surrounded by people who collapse under pressure. People who rush to fill every pause, to earn approval, to soften the atmosphere. When you refuse to do that, you disrupt their psychology. You become unpredictable, and unpredictability creates attraction stronger than beauty, status, or charm. It creates a pull rooted in the fear of losing something they can't quite define. You speak with intention, not speed. You look at them in a way that makes them feel exposed for a moment, like their confidence is just a skin they wear, not a truth they own. Most people flatter them. You observe them. Most people try to impress them. You evaluate them. This reversal rewires the entire dynamic, forcing them into a position they rarely occupy. Pursuit. They start testing you, not out of arrogance, but insecurity. They want to understand you. They want to know why your presence makes them feel slightly off-center. They want to know why they remember your words long after the conversation ends. And the more they try to understand you, the deeper the hook sinks. You never rush to reassure them. You never over-explain. You let their doubts work for you. You let their curiosity expand until it becomes hunger. This is the foundation of Machiavellian influence. Not controlling others with force, but guiding their internal reactions until they convince themselves to chase. Your energy is stable, unmoved. And powerful people are drawn to stability because it's the one thing they can't buy, demand, or command. They can command attention but not presence. They can command respect but not mystery. They can command loyalty but not fascination. Yet when they look at you, they feel all three slipping out of their control. And that loss of control becomes addictive. They start adjusting their tone around you, They start paying more attention to your reactions, your pauses, your silences. They wonder what you think of them, something they rarely wonder about with anyone else. You become the one mind they can't fully decode, the one person whose approval feels meaningful instead of automatic. That's when the chase becomes inevitable. Not because you demanded it, but because you created a psychological vacuum they feel compelled to fill. They want clarity. They want certainty. They want to understand the force that makes them feel human again, vulnerable, curious, alive. And when someone powerful feels that way, they don't walk toward you, they run. You reach a point where the trick no longer feels like a tactic, but something colder, something that becomes part of your instinct. You stop moving like someone who wants to be accepted and start moving like someone who chooses what deserves access. And the powerful feel this shift before anyone else. They sense when a person stops orbiting their influence and starts generating their own. That change alone pulls them in, because powerful people hate when they can't predict someone. You speak less. You hold your silence like a weapon, letting every pause force them to wonder what you're really thinking. You stop explaining yourself. You stop proving anything. You stop reacting to pressure the way they expect. That restraint becomes magnetic. They start replaying your words, analyzing your tone, trying to decode your intentions. Your distance becomes a puzzle, and the more they try to solve it, the deeper they fall into your gravity. You no longer give emotional availability as a default. You offer it only when it serves your direction. This makes them feel the weight of every moment you choose to engage. And when you pull back, they feel the absence immediately. They start looking for signs that they still matter in your world. They adjust their behavior just to maintain your attention. They chase the validation they once assumed you needed from them. This is the silent dominance they're not prepared for. Not force, not aggression, controlled calm. A calm that makes them question themselves. A calm that exposes insecurity they thought they had buried. They wonder why your presence affects them, why your opinion matters more than it should, why they feel the need to impress you instead of the other way around. And the trick works because you are no longer invested in the outcome. You don't need them to chase you. Your life doesn't shrink without them. You build yourself, and that self-possession becomes the very thing they want to access. Your detachment becomes power. Your focus becomes leverage. Your silence becomes influence. That's the final twist. When you stop caring whether they stay or go, they cling to you harder. When they realize they can't shake your foundation, they start trying to anchor themselves to you. You become the standard they compare themselves to, the presence they can't ignore, the unanswered question they keep returning to. This is the Machiavellian mind trick in its purest form. Self-command so strong, it pulls power toward you. You don't chase, you attract. You don't demand, you influence. And the moment they feel they need you more than you need them, the chase becomes inevitable. If you want the next level of control, influence, and psychological power, don't scroll. Follow now and watch what happens when you start applying these tactics. Your rise begins the moment you decide to stop being predictable